Hello, dear Trinity College and Judge Napolitano and President Berger Sweeney. There was a Joshua Stryker who was recorded, confessed, demonstrated, confirmed through time, pretending he knew me to girls behind my back, and with federal evidence, his crimes, identity theft, fraud, slanders, and as people involved with the intelligence community, former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, involved with him and with deans of Trinity College and Central Connecticut State University, with intelligence families that live next to the campuses, like Zion Street, who recorded, confessed, demonstrated, confirmed they have roles with people on Covington Street and in New Britain. And there's a Gary Sasso, and there are others, intercities involved, and people with Yukon involved with overt criminal enterprises and private ones. Even if they're under unmarked police forms, they're involved putting fake things in databases and wire crimes and methods. They have roles with the FBI, with the corners of streets near me through time, with predicate acts roles, identity theft, fraud, slanders, and with the principal child defender. Further, there were a whole bunch of names involved with them. I don't know the names of them. Like the girl that Joshua Stryker um, involved with predicate acts, also with unions and with co-defendants, a former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, and their family members. But they have timed roles with unions where they use the right to lie, where they don't have the right to lie. And they have roles with a whole bunch of other countries, and they're ducking behind that. They've been switching names intercities. Weathersfield Police and their family members, a police chief Simtron and his family member, but Jessica Simtron, I never met her in my life. And she's involved with people all along Elm Streets in Weathersfield and Rocky Hill who have something to do with the intelligence community on Trinity College and Central Connecticut State University, who've been planting evidences on off the campuses. And they attached me to fake conversations with an Elizabeth. Please get me a response for that and have them say sorry to her with the FBI too, in writing too, because they can't be trusted because they fabricate audio and video. There's a police chief who says his name. There's a police officer who says his name is Darth Vader, who's one of the ones on New Britain Avenue involved through time with the intelligence community intercities. There are a whole bunch of people tied to a Chet Casper, and someone I don't know I don't even know his name, but they've been their teachers are also in the intelligence community, and they have roles with names next to the state capital of Connecticut, with identity thefts and frauds, including with investigators trying to take pictures to make it look like people know people when they say they don't know them. They're trying to make fake exceptions. I figured out that's what they're doing. So it has something to do with that, and something to do with the intelligence community at Central Connecticut State University has been planting, taking pictures and make pretend people know each other and making confessions tied to this. So these are it's increasingly connected through time further intercities with the placements at the campuses. So please respond for the. There's a Dean Alford who's involved with switching names and forging names, and people with gun threats because they have roles with he has roles with prosecutors and judges and some probation officers who have roles with murder spots and federal evidences crimes, identity theft, fraud, slanders, and sequence shifts intercities as the people involved on all sides of Trinity College. They have roles with untimely death on Trinity College with people in my area who had roles with that as the ones who were in other. This is where I grew up, but then I was in other places for like over a decade. I was in apartments and stuff. The same names over here that the police involved in the FBI, and then the difference between that and when they involve themselves, and they're lying about what they think when they hear people using their names or mine. They brought this up. Weathersfield Police brought this up, switching names and making confessions with the name Claw. They didn't give the whole name. They do things like that and forging names and switching names. Also with Joshua Julian. Julian is recorded, confessed, demonstrated, confirmed, involved with a principal child offender. Since before he was caught, they were forcing that with more. With a Ray Claw that people at Trinity College recorded, confessed, demonstrated, confirmed is also involved with this Joshua Stryker, with sexual and medical abuses of kids with doctors. Through time, there were a whole bunch of people like there's a Justin Klavinskas, there's a Mark Violet, They have roles with doctors. I never had classes with them. These are people involved planting evidences on my street and then making fake in other words, out of sequence, but trying to make it look like I'm part of their little volume and click that they're planting evidences together. And with the intelligence community still as a kid, they're affecting conversation, confessions to me. And then, in other words, you're not going to respond to all of them. And then here they are. This is a response. I asked you guys for writing since I was a kid. They prevent writing. These are people that have been using the court. These are people with Sandy Hook involved with child offenders, leaders of the kids, and with the courts involved with it, pretending to hide it. They're not legitimately hiding their roles with the intelligence community with Sandy Hook, Newtown. And regarding where they speak about the history of America, they're out of their minds, black pupils. There! Make sure they get one name in sequence, please. Um, Burgess, President Burgess Wiener, excuse me, my behavior. They've been attaching me to fake behavior. So these are people that with various police forms, intercities, and there's a guy who says his name is Darth Vader, who's one of the police forms involved further with child offenders, including sexual, medical, and interbranch at the same time. There's a Dr. Shub of modern languages who has a family with probate courts, involved also with Hartford Superior Court judges and people that work with the campus and people with the military, criminally foreign influence. Well, a whole bunch of people tied to Eric Burgess, recorded, confessed, demonstrated, confirmed, involved with predicate acts with the FBI and military, police, foreign and domestic, and with courts, judges, and things like that, and prosecutors and overt criminal enterprises with the same ones. They're not legitimately with them too. This is relevant to their roles with predicate action news, with the news too. The news attached me to fake conversations with themselves, with these same names involved. Has something to do with their roles all along Route 3. And there's a Century Hills golf course is involved with people associated with the name Cololo, who also recorded, confessed, demonstrated, confirmed. They're involved with the intelligence community. But sometimes is their criminal foreign, sometimes it's the other criminal foreign influence over them, and their roles planting it. Now these are people I never tried to seek out, who who pretended had other pretended for them, which is also increasingly the problem because there are foreign bodies involved. So these are people involved with wire crime acts and methods with little kids. They're not legitimate unmarked police forms since they're little kids. There's a Subby Bajario who's one of the ones further involved with men and women through time intercities with identity theft, fraud, slavery. I never had a class with him in my life. They tried to take a picture of me on the side of the campus to prove, and one time they put fake things in databases on the other side. They're planting evidence on all sides of campuses with the people involved further online and with the Weathersfield Police Department with wire crimes and with intercities police departments. So make sure they get on paper in one name and sequence. Let's go. Please follow mandated law. Judge Napolitano, let's go. The Dean Alfred will tell you this. You have to ask him right. The lawyer of Robert Cheverini, his co-defendants. The lawyer of Robert Luskin, former standing chairperson on the racketeering influence and corrupt organization, happened in his co-defendants. These are also people with the name Spada and Delaferro involved with the child campuses near Trinity College, and Aiello involved with organized crime with little kids, child abuses, identity theft, fraud, slander. This is Jennifer Kennepicky made a fake exception trying to see me with one of the sisters, even family members of Joe Aiello on off campuses and spots next to it, involved with various natures of federal evidence is crime, federal rules of evidence is crime, and natures of identity theft, fraud, slander, sequence shifts, fake motivations planting, and with a Mayor Gold and other mayors are involved with them through time, involved with the people involved, wire crimes with them, gun crimes, pretending to be against it at the same time, etc. All except the nature that appeared to be a demonstration of other are really with demonstration of the same thing. So follow mandated law, please, and get me a response. There are a whole bunch of more names, like people with the name Dylan with the intelligence community, further involved, planting evidence on all sides of my house through time, with people named Mendez and Domain involved. People with the last name. These are people with the intelligence community on Fox Connecticut News and the buildings next to Fox, next to the state capitol, has something to do with people who plant evidences. Fear God, please. Follow mandated law for them. and get them onto paper with this Joshua Stryker and have them say sorry to Elizabeth. And please get Dean Alford's name was switched. They have people on Facebook involved with child offenders of various natures because they have other natures of organized crime and they have foreign bodies involved. And the former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, and his co-defendants, in other words, too, and other natures of federal criminals associated with those same people and their family members who have timed rules and then again with untimely deaths. One of them was on Trinity College, but the people involved with that were involved with the same house, involved with one in the past. And they were involved with all those other things at the same time. So please follow mandated law for them. Here. Thank you. Please, Judge Napolitano, let's go. Let's get on paper. Let's go. Let's go.